Hey guys, I'm Keith with Lightline Fishing. We're talking spawn and pre-spawn, or should I say pre-spawn and spawn. Stay with us. Okay guys, this is one of my favorite times of the year where you can get those fish up shallow. You could use crankbaits, you could use the Nico rigs, you could use wacky worms, spinner baits, you could use your jigs, you could use flipping jigs, you could use Texas rig. There's so many ways to catch them when they're in the shallows. But one of my favorites, it's not my favorite, but it is a way to catch fish, and I'm getting better at it. I used to not fish these at all, but using crankbaits. Now, the bad part about crankbaits is there's so many colors, there's so many brands. A guy could just go crazy not knowing which ones to buy. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to make it real simple, real easy. Okay? Based on what you're fishing in a clear water situation, where to me clear water is pretty much, if you could see 2 to 3 feet, that's clear water to me. Others may have different opinion, but if you've got at least 2 to 3 foot visibility, these baits will catch fish. I don't care where you go in the country. And the easiest way to find out your visibility of the water is take a white jig and just, open your bail or click your button, take a white jig and watch it go down, and then pull it back up and see how far it was, which you could see. Simple, real simple. But let's go with number 1. 3 baits is all you need to buy. People can argue with me all day long, and I'm not going to argue with you, but I'm telling you, if you have these 3 baits, you can catch fish anywhere in the country based on this principle. Bass love bluegill. Here's a bluegill pattern square bill crankbait. I didn't even cut the line off of it. This is the one I caught that 4-pounder on the other day. Beautiful fish. It just looks just like a bluegill. It's got a beautiful bluegill pattern. Little orange on the belly, just matches them bluegills perfect. Little square bill, does great, 3 to 5 foot. The next one is kind of a sexy shad. This is this little 6 cents. I'm not being brand specific, just they had to happen to have the color that I loved. It was beautiful. Little sexy Tennessee shad kind of color. It's just lovely. It works great. So you got the minnow, you got your bluegill perch color, you've got your shad to different types of bait fish that are in the water also can resemble a little bit of the bluegill. I don't think it matters, but it just seems that this color seems to work when they're on bait fish. When they're on the bluegills during the spawn and the pre-spawn and they're munching up, they love the bluegill color. When they're on the beds, bluegill color is hard to beat. But during the pre-spawn and all through, they're eating crawdads. Now, if you haven't figured it out by now, bass love crawdads. That's the bottom line. They eat it. Now, this one happens to be a Strike King. You can see the belly. It's a nice one. I like the 2.5s, just my preference. I'm not that good when it comes to casting light crankbaits. I'm not going to lie. You get them 1s and them 1.5s, and I blow my reel up every time. I have to throw them on an open face reel. I'm just not skilled enough to use a bait caster to throw that light. They say, oh, use a medium action. I bought one. Guess what? I still blow it up. Sorry, I suck. Just it is what it is. So I throw the 2.5s and I can zing them things a half a mile. It seems like that's exaggerating, but it seems like I can cast them really far when I use a little bit heavier lure, which works for me. It still stays in that depth, and sometimes they want them smaller ones. That if these don't work, then I have the 1.5s, and I'll take the spinning rod and I'll throw them on a medium action spinning rod, and I'll work them the same way. Just because you call bass fish, it doesn't mean you have to use a bait caster. I'll be honest with you, I didn't start using a bait caster until about 2 years ago. I can skip, I can flip, I can do everything you could do with a bait caster with a spinning rod. Have done it for years, done it for more years than a lot of people have been fishing. It's just what you're used to doing. So the technique doesn't matter what rod you're having. It's putting that bait in front of their face, they're going to hit it. So perfect baits, 3 of them to buy. Don't go out and do what I did. This is just the box that I had for the spring tournament at Louisville. This is the co-angler box that I was going to take. I have 3 more of these boxes filled in my boat with crankbaits. It's ridiculous to spend that kind of money. I don't even use 3/4 of them that I have, because I watch videos and they're like, oh, this is the best crankbait in the world, and I don't care where you go, you're going to catch fish with it. And I go out and buy 2 or 3 of them. Guess what? They don't work on my lake. Why? It's just not the type of forage that's in our lake. You cannot go wrong with a Tennessee sexy shad type colored bait for your bait fish. When they're eating bait fish, they'll eat these. If they're on bluegill, you want a bluegill pattern. And yes, you can buy different variations of them, but I'm just saying stick to the 3 basics. Bluegill, perch, bait fish, crawdad. You stick with those 3, you're going to catch some bass. So just a recommendation. I don't care about the brand. I'm not brand specific. A square bill is a square bill. Do they make different vibrations? Is it a little different? Yeah, here's a thought. If everybody's throwing Strike King, maybe you ought to throw something a little different. I've learned over the years that it's not so much that one bait works better than the other, but fish get programmed. When they get stung a few times, they're like, they see that again, they're not going to bite it. Chances are. But if they see something new or something that is, something they haven't seen before, they don't have hands. They can't reach up and go, hey, what's that? They have to eat. They have to go up and eat it. So and bass are very territorial. They'll hit and strike things just because they come in their colors. Look at the different colors we use. But when you stick to match the hatch, as they say, you're going to catch fish. And like I said, you may not catch the biggest fish, you may not catch the most, but these 3 colors will catch a bass. Anyways, I'm Keith Allen. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, share the video with friends. I'm trying to grow the channel. And hey, take somebody fishing. We'll see you next time.